Hey guys, I'm Lou. In today's video I'm doing the Oscars book tag. I was tagged in this video by Matt over at ThisIsMe, so I'll put his video and his channel in the description box down below so you can go and check that out. Thank you Matt for tagging me. It's my first tag that I've been tagged in. This tag was created by Liv's book, so I'll also put her channel and her video down below so you can go see the original one. This tag has 11 Oscar categories and then it has its corresponding book categories. Let's just get into it. The first category is Best Picture. Yeah, Best Picture, which is favourite book series, and for me that has to go to... Oh, can I do this? Can I do this? A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas. Do you think I can like keep it up like this for the rest of my description? I'm like struggling to keep this up. But I need to do it. I need to look cool. A Court of Mist and Fury is my favourite book of all time, so it's sort of really hard for me not to say this series. This is a new adult fantasy series which features fairies. The first one's sort of a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, the second one Hades and Persephone. It's a really good series if you haven't read it, although it depends on how you deal with things. It's a mixed bag for some people, but it's my favourite series. The second category is Best Foreign Film, which corresponds to favourite diverse book. For this, it's currently The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. This is about a girl called Star who witnesses her best friend Khalil being murdered by the police, and she has to deal with the consequences, whether or not she should speak out, dealing with racism, and it's a really strong and moving book and I can't wait to go to the author event on the 24th of March. The third category is Best Documentary, which is favourite non-fiction book. Now with me and non-fiction books don't really get along. I think I only read something like 4 or 5 non-fiction books since January of 2017 until now, so I didn't really have a lot to choose from, but this one definitely stuck out to me when I thought of the answer, which is A Stolen Life by J.C. Lee Dugard. This is the tale of her kidnapping. She was kidnapped at 11 years old on the way to school, and she was kidnapped for 18 years. In those 18 years she had to endure such hardships that I could not possibly imagine. She had to deal with being mentally and sexually assaulted. It's a very moving tale and it's also very uplifting. I would definitely recommend it if you are interested in non-fiction stories. I gave this book a 3 out of 5 stars though, because whilst the story is very moving and sentimental, the writing is not as good, but it is my favourite non-fiction book so far. But I think it's more because in those 18 years she obviously wasn't taught as well as you and I. The fourth category is Best Actress, which is favourite female protagonist. And for this one I'm going to have to go for a classic, and that's Hermione from Harry Potter. When I was thinking about favourite female protagonists, it was really hard for me to come up with one that I absolutely loved and I never got annoyed at any point. But then I thought about Hermione and I realised that I absolutely love Hermione and there's nothing not to love about her. Not only is she smart and tough, but she's also a bookworm. I think everyone in the booktube community loves or respects Hermione in some sense. The fifth category is Best Actor, which is favourite male protagonist, and this one is easily Reese from A Court of Thorns and Roses. I'm picking up A Court of Mist and Fury because this is the book that made me fall in love with him. In A Court of Thorns and Roses I was like unsure of him. I actually was more of a shipper of Tamlin and Feyre by the end of that book. Then this book I'm just like, Tamlin at all. Reese is just such a lovable character and you can't help but fall in love with him. He's just so perfect. The sixth category is Best Supporting Actress, which is favourite supporting character. For this one it was really hard for me to choose because my cat keeps meowing, so do you think I can continue this video with her on my shoulder? She's walking on my boob. Okay, no. There's no way. You better stay there, honey. Where was I? Oh yeah, I was gonna say more Amryn from A Court of Mist and... not A Court of Mist and Fury. A Court of Thorns and Roses, but I didn't really like their character arc from A Court of war and ruin. I'm just gonna start saying their acronyms because it's really messing up my mind saying their actual titles. I didn't like their character regression in Aqua War, so for this one I chose Shazad from the Rebel of the Sands trilogy by Alwyn Hampton. This is very similar to the Shadow and Bone trilogy, but take out the Russian influence and add Middle Eastern influence. I absolutely love it. I love Shazad because she basically becomes best friends with Armani, and you rarely see the sort of companionship and like sisterhood that you do see in this series. Not only that, but in a world where women are meant to be wives and children bearers, she is the general of a rebellion. And I would highly recommend reading the series just for the companionship of Armani and Shazad. And look at that, look at that cover. Is that not pretty? The 7th category is Best Supporting Actor. And for this one, I'm going to have to go for Magnus Bane from the Shadowhunter Chronicles. I know this is the TV show cover. I couldn't be asked to get my other covers out. They're so like locked in there. I recently bought this, so I was like, I might as well show it off. Although Magnus Bane is technically not a supporting character anymore because he does have the Bane Chronicles and he is getting his own spin-off series, but when you first meet him in the Mortal Instruments and in the Infernal Devices, he is a supporting character, so I'm going to count him as one. I just love Magnus Bane. I think if you read the Mortal Instruments, you can't help but love him. Not only is he Asian, but he's like full of sass, and I love his relationship with Alec, and I can't wait to see it expanded upon more. The 9th category is Best Director, which is Favourite Author. And for this one, I'm going to have to go for Sarah J Maas. Sarah J Maas brought my love back to reading with Throne of Glass. I have 4 of her books signed. I buy all her books regardless if I've caught up with the series. I can't help but love her. The 10th category is Best Cinematography. This one is Best Worldbuilding. And for this one I really struggled picking. I was torn between The Infernal Devices, which is Victorian London, and Akatar with Prithian and Belarus, but I decided that it had to go to Akatar. If you can't tell, I quite like this series. Prithian really becomes developed in Akamath and Akawar. When I was listening to the audiobook the second time I read A Court of Mist and Fury, I could not but imagine Belarus, and it was just so magically written. I was gonna choose The Infernal Devices, but then I realised my love from The Infernal Devices stems from real life connections because I live in London. So I decided to go for a world where it's not real, I haven't been to. I just realised I forgot the 8th category. Did I say 8th? I have no idea. The 8th category is Best Screenplay, which is Best Standalone Book. And for this one I'm going to have to choose Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. I wish this wasn't a standalone book. I wish this was a 7-book series like Harry Potter. It's so good. Carry On is very similar to Harry Potter in the sense that it does take place in a wizarding school. It is in an English setting. This is set in Watford, but imagine Harry and Draco rather than Harry and Ginny, and you basically sort of have the plot of Carry On. Like, you also have things like vampires, and you have the bad guy, the humdrum, which drains magic from everywhere, and there's like, you know, mortal peril, Simon Snow being the chosen one, Baz being his mortal enemy. But it's so good, and I love this book, and I'm so happy that I have the hardback so I can fangirl. I'll get it, fangirl, because fangirl's the companion book novel, over the inside jacket. So pretty. Okay, now for the last category. The 11th category is Best Costume, which is Favourite Ensemble or Cast of Characters. I just chose Ensemble. For this one I have to go with Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. You can't help but love the cast of characters in this book. Their banter, the way that it's like a band of misfits that don't entirely fit together but somehow do. It really broke my heart in Crooked Kingdom because everything was no longer the same. But Six of Crows is a duology. It's set in the Grishaverse, but you don't have to read the Shadow and Bone trilogy before you read this one. It's about this crew which plan to break into an unbreakable prison and rescue a guy. I do really like this series, and I would recommend you picking it up if you haven't already. Now, I tagged everyone that's watching this video I probably shouldn't do that. I tag everyone that's in this video. In this video it's just me. And I tag everyone that's watching this video because why not? If you want to do it, go ahead and do it. But I also specifically tag 3 people and I'm really hoping they haven't been tagged already. The first person I'm going to tag is May over at May Reads. I absolutely love her and I love her videos and I'd love to see her take on this tag. So May, please do it. Please. The second person that I want to tag is JD James. I love watching her videos. Her videos are like crack because they're just so funny. And I love to see more about what she has read. And the third person I tag is Therese over at Therese vs Books. I really hope I'm saying her name right, Therese. She's a booktube newbie. She's insanely new, like she only has done the booktube newbie tag as I'm filming this video, and I saw it, and in the question that's like, what can you bring to booktube? She's like, well, I want to bring tags and I want to tag people and create my own tags, and I was like, yo, let's be tagging buddies. So I'm tagging you. And yeah, that's my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching and clicking on this video. I hope to see you soon. Bye!